Good evening, my leaders in the house, leader OBM. Good evening, everybody who is here with us this evening. So today we'll be going through, we'll be revising the indicators we spoke about last week, so as for us to understand it very well. And the last one we haven't touched yet, we'll also treat that, which is RSI. So we'll go through the MACD again and other indicators as well that we spoke about last week. So this evening with me, I have another amazing analyst with the name HabiFX. So he's also a professional crypto trader and a Web3 guy. So he will be joining me this evening to talk about the indicators and also teaching us how we can use those indicators to properly take our trade and then maximize profit. So I'll be sharing my screen right now. So please do let me know if you guys see my screen. Idabi, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So I'll add a coin here. Let's use BTC for example. USDT. Let's pick on which exchange should we use. Let's use Binance. All right, here is Binance, and then we'll add indicators, and then we go here. Those are drawings, and then we'll pick indicators, and then we write our MACD. I'll also be showing us from our RoyalQ app. So here we can see that we have our MACD beneath on the chart, and then we have our chart right here. So from here, what we can see here, these are Bitcoin charts. Speak a nice color. Okay, let's go 80%. Okay, so right here we can see here on the chart, and we can see here as well on the chart. You can see if you trace this chart up to this extent here, you can see market was bullish around here. And what do you see our MACD indicators do here? The moving average on the MACD around this area. You can see when it crossed each other, the blue one crossed on the yellow line, and you can see here market here with the volume that is present on the MACD here, market was bearish, right? It was bullish because this MACD line on this area here that we are not seeing, because I took a screenshot, the yellow line crossed the blue line over there, and there was a golden cross which printed this high. Then now that the market crossed again to the downside, now from here to this area, when it crossed around here, you can see that it was printing volumes here downward. So now currently there's a cross now here, there's a golden cross, At NB, we are setting our trade right now from here now. There will be a golden cross, and you can see the volume here is very small. You can't see it very well, but it's very small, and Bitcoin will be going bullish right now. And the current price is around 83,000 here, indicated in the red box here. So, and it's indicating that Bitcoin is around 83,873. So, before market would print from this low here of, because before it will print from here up to probably this area where market did before, around this area, would see at least market will do at least 3%, because this is Bitcoin, and it's not that volatile because of the liquidity, the volume, the market cap of Bitcoin is very huge, so it doesn't move that much. Even 3% of Bitcoin is a huge money. It's a huge amount of money. So, and from what I was telling you here before, so you can see as well. So before market actually moved and did all this upward move, you can see there was a cross around here. So the blue line crossed the yellow one, and then we had this. So how can we use this on our RoyalQ app? So like we explained before on our last section, the MACD, what it consists of? It consists of two indicators, right? Moving averages, the normal moving average MA, and the volume up and volume down. So there is a sort of volume that MACD uses. It indicates when the bearish candle and the bullish candle. So it indicates the bear and the bulls in the market. So by so doing, knowing when you are seeing this data, you know that sellers are selling when it's red, when this volume is printing downward, and then when it's green, it's printing bullish, and then you also be seeing it reflecting on your chart, on your candlestick charts here. So, and you can see they correlate to each other. So those indicators in the market, they actually help us to indicate trend very easily. So now we know that, okay, there is this golden cross around here. So now we know that there's this golden cross. As soon as this golden cross take place here, we know that market is starting to like move upward. So now, if we were to have set our RoyalQ boat like we taught us, and we'll be talking about again, repeating it this evening, our boat will peak, and then we are in the market, and we don't tend to like be losing money. So plus our buy too, we can add that also, so we can know, okay, what's our target price that we are trying to sell at. Okay, now currently we know that Bitcoin is around $83,921.70. Okay, what are we targeting? Is our target like maybe 86,000? So if we know that we are targeting 86,000, now you know, okay, from this current price, this market price here, which is $83,921 to around $86,000. What's the percentage? So we calculate that with our ruler too. So we know, okay, this is the price we should be targeting, right? So so for example, if I come to this place here, and I say, okay, and I pick the ruler too, right? And I measure from here, from this current price. I say, okay, from here up to 86,000, you can see it's 2.6%. So if that was our target right now, you know, from your robot, you want to target, if you were to one shot Bitcoin right now from its current price, you know that you want to set 2% of it, 2.63%. With your MACD, you set your robot MACD, and then now you have a signal. This is a simple technique on how you can use MACD just without even saying, okay, you are using manually and stuff like that. But with the MACD, you set it. Now your trade would have triggered from here. So then what will be your trigger? What will be your target? Your target is 86,000. Probably you would, okay, I believe market will hit 86,000. You are not just taking those numbers from your head. Okay, because market actually did this before. This was the recent high. The recent high was at around how much? So you want to pick your trend line too and say what was the recent high. The recent high is around 87,400. So you can still say, okay, yeah, definitely market is going to come here. So you have your trend line here. Let's just say this is not as straight because from my phone, I don't usually use phone to do analysis, but we can still do this. Okay, so now you pick your ruler two, no, your buy two actually. So you pick your position to the long. So you say, okay, from current price, even though there are some analysis that we actually talked about this for people who attended previous classes on how to use your buy tool, so that you place it after you did your analysis. Now we are just using this indicator MACD to do analysis, and we say from current price, for example, and then you target this area here, which was your recent high. You even be doing more percent. You'll be doing 4.15%, whopping 4.15%. And if you are trading with a lot of capital, I promise you'll be making a lot of money. And then here we are trading spots, we are not trading futures. You know that, okay, you won't be losing money, but at least if you were to go to a dip right now, so where you want to you know that, okay, the worst market can do from here, since you've done your analysis good and you entered at a good price, to be just before market would say you want to comes to this your stop. So which your stop in the spot market will be like the floating loss, which is your waiting period, right? Before market will come to $82,000, it's $2,684, which is around I think you should be down. You should be down around 2%, right? So it's around 2:1, and it's not really bad as a percentage, right? So before market will move, the MACD would have did the pump up here. So the MACD would have dropped now, would have been diverging back downward. So now it's going upward. You are on the safe side because why? You wait for the golden cross to happen. So before it will even say you want to move back down, probably your trade has already closed. So there is higher probability that the trade is going to hit your target price, your target TP. So if you are not even too greedy, you just say, okay, instead of me waiting till market will get to this upper trend here, I want to take my profit here. Maybe that's around 2%. You're already in, you're out. Instead of waiting to say, okay, let it get to 4 points. If you are very patient, you can wait. And because you are trading sports, you don't have anything to risk, you understand? So only the waiting period. So here we did this analysis here, and now this is how to generate signal actually. So you know that, okay, this is what Bitcoin is going to do. You are expecting it to hit this high, this new high. It's going to break this new high. So you buy from the this spot, and everything you want to this analysis we just did. Now you come to your RoyalQ app. And you say, and you pick a coin. So what's wrong with this network? And then you create a strategy, and then you come here. I was actually having a strategy on this one, but then yeah, for the MACD setting, so you come here, you come down, you come to advanced setting, and normally you will see it like this, right? The default setting that our leader OBM taught us. He said we should use the default setting. It actually works. If you want to use the manual one as well, this is the default setting, right? If you have a strategy saved, you will come here. So and then you have the manual one. Yes, let's make example with the manual one, right? No, the manual, and then you scroll down. Uh, Sorry. So let's go to the manual, and then you scroll down. You go to the advanced settings, and then here, voila, you see, advanced settings strategy period, which is one shot. You can switch it and put it to like cycle, and then you create like this, and then you see your first position trigger condition, which is the MACD, and then you have your MA, your 12-day moving averages, and then you have your 9 days, and then you have your 26. So then you click on it, and then it shows you here the MACD, and then you confirm, and then the line trigger, you want to pick the lesser than. There is the lesser than, and there is the greater than. So what does this mean even? So what it means is the aim that what we want to achieve, right? In the market, you want to always buy low and sell high. So it makes sense actually, because why? If you go to for example, main market, and you want to buy something, right? And you are someone who is a trader, and you want to buy with the aim of selling so that you can make profit. You don't want to buy high, so that you want to buy low so that you can sell in profit to your customers or your clients, so as you can make your own profit. So that's the same thing we are trying to achieve here. So for you to do that, you click on the lesser than, which will be making your bot to buy less. And here you can see time frame is actually on 15 minutes. Why is it showing 15 minutes here? Because why? On our chart on RoyalQ here, the chart is on 15 minutes. By default, it's actually on 15 minutes. I don't really think we can switch it, because I've checked it also. They're always on default 15 minutes. So that I think the time frame they are using here is the time frame that they think makes sense the most. So you want to also leave your margin call on, and then you leave the price range blank. But if you want to play around with the price range, probably you have a price range in mind. If you know how to analyze, you just impute them in, and then you save. And voila, if whenever you place a trade with MACD, it's going to show around here that the it's going to show around here, right? That the trade that you placed is waiting for trigger condition, which the condition will be the MACD condition, right? When there is a golden cross, there should be a trigger. So here on AVE, we can see that the market has actually printed an up move. And I also promised that I was going to show us how to use the Bollinger Band also this evening. So you can see here we have two indicators on, and one of it is the MACD, which I have switched off right now. If I turn it on back, you will see. So we have the MACD here that I've just finished explaining, and then we have the Bollinger Band, which is this one. So now I'll switch them off so that we can talk about Bollinger Bands, and then I'll leave our. There's the RSI, which is this one. We haven't spoken about it yet. We have a special guest this evening. Our one of our analysts, great analyst, a friend of mine, uh, ABFX, who is also going to talk to us about RSI. So I'll just give us a little bit of input on it. So a Bollinger Band, here you see there's two moving average. We have the upper moving average, and the lower. We have actually, we don't call it moving average, but we know as traders that there are moving averages, and then which is averaging prices across ranges of days, right? So we call it the upper band and the lower band, and then we have the middle band as well. So which is averaging prices, and then price move within these ranges. And the way you use your Bollinger Bands is you actually buying at the lower band, which is the same thing we are doing, right? And then you are buying from this low here. Whenever prices touches this low, you want to buy, and then wait for it to move to this upper bound around here, and then you sell. At times also, depending on the time frame, if you are in a lower time frame, for example, let's say 15 minutes, you want to, this strategy works. But when the higher the time frame, you know, the slower the prices move in those ranges. So at times it will even be good for you to buy at the middle bound. It is if it's, for example, let's say 4 hours, because if price should be around the middle bound at 4 hours, already you will see price in 15 minutes, which is already at the lower bound. See here, for example, now before we were on a higher time frame, for example, let me see 4 hours, and you can see it's price is still around the middle bound here. Price is still here, and if you go back to the 15 minutes, which is here, you can see what price is doing. It's above here. So now here, what we call this, right now is overbought, and you can even see from this indicator here also the stochastic oscillator that's on RoyalQ, because it's a combination of stochastic and pivotal um, indicator, which is indicating a strong buy here. So here, definitely you know that there's a strong buy.
We are
So
not seeing that.
sorry. Let me. I think because um, let me admit this person.
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay. So now we can see that even on the 15 minutes right here, so with the Bollinger Band, you can see prices here, we call it premium price. If when prices are up the Bollinger Bands and it's high, you don't want to buy here. This is why it's always good that you do your analysis before you get in on a trade. Because if you just if you buy a coin like that, high probability that you are buying the top. And if you are buying the top of a coin, then this coin now then drops to this area here. Then if you bought like this on a higher time frame, the waiting period will be very long. Because why? Even before you would then wait for this coin now to drop, now imagine that here's what's going to happen if you buy the premium, right? Here's why a lot of us are always in deep, because why? You bought around here. Let's now assume that this is not 15 minutes. Let's assume this was 4 hours, right? And then you bought up here at the premium price. So now you have to wait for price now to come back here for it to be at the discount. And then you have to then wait again for price to come up here again and then surpass this place. Because why? You bought here 180. So price has to drop to 174. The people who bought at 174 now are selling at 180. So now you have to exercise patience. If that market is dropping, that means you'll be in floating loss, right? And then you'll be short around $8 something. So if you now imagine that you bought large quantity, right? So now you have to wait for price to go back to 180 for you to break even. Then after it gets to 180, now you have to also exercise patience again for price to move upward more than that so that you can make profit. So which means if you had done your analysis, right, you wouldn't be buying there. You would wait for, if you are using Bollinger Band now in this case, you would always be buying at the low. Your aim is to buy at this low discount price, and then you can. But then let me be clear on this: you can only use only indicators to analyze chart. You want to analyze past history as a technical analyst. We analyze past data to predict what will happen in future, right? So now you always want to buy at the discount price and then sell high. So now when price drops to, for example, let's say 174 dollars, and then you want to wait now. If you even get to 180 already, you are in profit. Your trade would have closed, right? So now imagine that trade. Let's go back now and see. Look at from here. There was 171 was at the middle band, and the lower band here. This is a good example, right? Price was here, and you can see it was at the middle band. And then what happened? It printed up here to 183. And then what happened again? Then there was a lower band again. If you move forward now, you see it dropped again to 174. So now imagine that you bought here now, you have to wait. And then you wait again, and then it print up. All you have to do again now is wait. Then now imagine that you can impute this on your settings, right? And then you go advanced settings, you click on it. Here on RoyalQ, sadly, they don't have Bollinger Bands, but you can use Bollinger Bands individually as a tool that you know. There's RSI and there's KDJ, and then we have the trigger price. We are going to teach us how we can use the RSI, because RSI is also an amazing tool, which I personally use to trade as well. So now, if there's any question regarding the Bollinger Bands, we can ask before we talk about the RSI, which our honorable leader in the house, our technical analyst, Mr. Abi, would also teach us how to use the RSI, and then I'll give a brief close on that. So is there any question? Yes, no. Hello, can everyone hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear you.
Okay. So if there is no question, we'll just proceed to the RSI, and I'll allow my leader Abi in the house to also talk to us about RSI.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, leader Abi.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Masha, my boss. Good evening, the entire team of RoyalQ. Good evening, all leaders in the house. And good evening, all listeners. Remember, so my name is AB actually. So I use ABFX. Actually, I'm learning from leader AB Masha. So like you said, so tonight we'll be talking about the indicator RSI, which means the relative strength index. So actually, as a technical analyst, there are a lot of indicators that technical analysts normally use, but like you cannot use everything fully because you have a lot of them. As the IB has been taking the class since days back, like since even weeks, months back, you understand? So, but tonight, like you said, we're talking about the RSI indicator. So I will start then. My boss will also contribute to it towards the end. So let's get to the business of the day. So now when we talk about we are saying about RSI, like I said, it means relative strength index. So it's just like an indicator that we use at times that shows all the strength of the market. Like when you're analyzing your markets now, so we want to know what is happening about how people buy and how people sell. So you want to know where is the level at which the market is within the buyers and the sellers. So you want to have some preview. Maybe is it the buyers that are taking over? Is it the sellers that are taking over? Okay, is it that the buyer now, maybe the buyer has bought a lot of assets and they are somehow exhausted, or maybe the sellers are just selling, they are just selling and they have gotten exhausted, so they cannot sell again. You want to see a view, maybe okay, the buyers are now ready to take over the market. So that is what the RSI indicator do for us in the chat. Actually, I will open my chat, but I just want to make some like a little touch about the RSI. So the RSI is also a momentum indicator. So it will show you when the market is set for reversal. So as now when you want to analyze your market now, let's say maybe the market is on uptrend. So the market is just pumping, but you are now like, when will this pump just stop? So you want to know when that momentum will stop. The RSI indicator can help you, but I want you to note that all indicators in this market, they will only give you views about what the price is doing at that moment, or even like some time back. So that's what indicators, what they did. It doesn't mean that maybe they will give you the 100% assurance that yes, you can enter. On the norms, some indicators that some people trade might give them 100% assurance. That's fine. It depends on individual, on how you trade. But to me, this RSI indicator also works perfectly. But there are some other confluences that you have to add to it, because that's what makes you a perfect trader. So I've used these indicators before. I've tested it. It works. Though right now I'm not using any indicators anymore, because I'm not more of that indicator trader. So, but I've tested it before when I started my trading journey, and fine, it works perfectly when you now combine it with some other confluences. So I also try to talk about the confluences tonight, so we can also add that to our personal skills in our own personal trading journey. So, and with some other things that we also go out there to learn ourselves to be of help to us. So, like I'm saying, that the RSI indicator will let you know the momentum in the market for a possible reversal, to let you know when you are looking to enter the trade for a buy or for a sell. So now we have some certain levels in the RSI that we look to. Let me try and open my chart. So I'm coming, so that as I'm talking, to be more practical, I'm coming screen. Please, do you see my screen now?
Yeah, I think, yeah. If you just go to your chat and then you see.
Okay. You can see it now, right?
Sir, I'm coming. Now you can share now. I think I was still sharing my screen. That was why it's not showing.
Okay. Okay. Have you closed your screen now?
Yeah.
Maybe I will try and just reshare, because I've shared before. Let me just try and reshare my own screen. I'm coming. Okay. Is my screen showing now? Please, I'm very sorry.
No, not yet.
What the fuck? What's wrong? I'm coming. Please, I'm very sorry. I don't know what's wrong, bro. Ah. So let me just continue. I'm sharing my screen. So that we don't just waste our time, I will share my screen very soon. I don't know what's happening. So now, like I'm saying, the RSI indicator now, it helps you, it can also guide you to know when you're supposed to enter the market. But like I'm saying, that there are some other conferences that we need to add to our distance, to our RSI indicator. That is the price action. Like, it is also on the chart. Like, how does the market looks like? How is the market action? How is the price action going at that particular time? So all these things will help us to know the proper thing to do when we are looking into our RSI. And we have two levels in the RSI indicator. We have the we do consider, we have the 30 level and the 70 level. These two levels are like the very vital level that we look into when we are using our RSI indicator. So the RSI indicator now, when the market or the RSI signals a move to that 30 line, or to below the 30 line. I'm trying to show myself and do this thing practically, but I don't know why. I'm just trying to reshare the screen again. So once it works, I will surely go back. But let's just talk about now. When I come back to the practical aspects, you understand what I'm saying. So the price, when the price goes below the 30 level, we call that one to be the oversold. That means that people that are selling, like if they are exhausted and they are ready, that the market has gotten to 30 level, so it means that the sellers are getting exhausted, it doesn't mean that when it gets to that 30 level, that the sellers are already exhausted fully. No, it's just that, okay, I'm sharing my video, not screen. I'm just saying this now. So when the market now gets to that below the 30, it doesn't mean that you now say, okay, the market is already at oversold, so I want to jump into the market to buy. That's why I'm saying that no, you will surely show some. When the market is pumping, when the market now gets to 70%, that 70 level, we call that one that the market is overbought. It means that analysts will now be looking at, okay, wow, it's like market is now overbought. People that are buying market, they are getting exhausted because they are too much, which means that there should be a room for the sellers to take over. So like that, they will not feel like, okay, then the buyers are exhausted. Then we'll be looking for room to sell now. So that's why I said that the 30 and the 70%, they are the pivot level for the RSI indicator to know when to buy and when to sell. But note, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that it's 100% assurance that the market is going to reverse at that exact moment. So those are the key level of the RSI. Now, I'll also go down to, if you want to use the RSI profiling, like what are the things that you need to consider, that you need to put into place so that you can have a proper trading analysis for your RSI in respect to the chart. First thing is that you have to use the, let's say, the price action or the market structure. I'm not going deeper into the market structure, but it's just, market structure is just like how the markets move, you understand? So it's just show you, okay, maybe the market is going up or the market is going down. So you only use the price action to know what is happening on the chart. So before you can use your RSI indicator, you have to also make sure that you look at the screen properly, the chart properly. You know what is going on the chart so that you can have a proper analysis on your chart with respect to that RSI. Then the next thing is you look at the RSI level. That one I've talked about, the 30 and the 70. So those are the two levels. The key, actually there are a lot of levels in RSI, but those are the key vital levels that a lot of traders that they look into. So then the last thing I also try to discuss about in the RSI of a thing is the convergence and divergence. So when you're talking about the convergence and divergence, this is like a key strategy that you can use to combine both your price action, like I've said, with the RSI indicator. So that
Mr. B, can you try and share the screen right now? So
I'm sharing the, do you know what? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Leader KK Success, you're welcome. Welcome, sir.
What is going on?
If you can, probably I'll just share mine and then I'll talk about it. I think network. So I'll just share my screen. So can everyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, um, so let's pick Solana, and then we take off this.
So can you please give me like the permission to share the screen? I should just check again why you do this thing.
Okay. I think it's leader Ocean again in the house. Let's see. Yes. Okay, you can share your screen now. Can you hear me?
I
Go
can
ahead.
hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I think it was the network that threw you out before, so you can go ahead. You can share your screen now. Is it your network? Because we're actually running
Can
off.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
can
can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Share your screen.
Can you see the screen now?
No, no.
Oh, I don't know what happened to the network tonight. But maybe can I use your screen to explain what I want to see? But it may
Okay,
not
let's
be.
use okay, let's use my screen. I'll just use the but you're already sharing yours, that's why it's not showing.